Hello, welcome to Mia Developer Channel. My name is Taz Warbati. I'm Azure GTM Manager for Developer Audience. Today we have a very special guest with us, an MVP, Mert Yeter. Mert, do you want to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Tasvar. My name is Mert Yeter, and I have been an Azure MVP for 2 years, and I am working as a software architect at 360.net. And I like contributions about technical stuff, and mostly in Azure and open source. And that's me.
Great, thank you. So, Mert, I saw you at the Developer Summit. You were talking about Copilot, but I wanted to ask you, what is Copilot?
Okay, basically, Copilot is an IDE extension and a service, of course. It uses context you're provided and synthesizes code to match. And we can use it convert commands to code and autofill repetitive code. Or he suggests unit tests. For example, I don't like writing unit tests, but I have to write, and this is a very good feature for me. And also, it shows alternative versions of your code, so you can learn different perspectives. And this is also a very nice feature for self-development. And I think you wonder how it works. Copilot service is not a search engine. It's not getting sample from internet and return back to you. There is an OpenAI codex model, and it generates sample codes from the public repositories on GitHub, but it is not using private repositories. It is off the limits. And I want to say that because some people wonder if GitHub can access my private repositories. It cannot access. And so when you write a code on your IDE, it provides an context to the Copilot service, and then AI model generate a response and provide a suggestion to you. If you like that suggestion, you can use it, and it used to improve the model. But if you don't like it, you can ask another suggestion. You can switch in the different suggestions, and it is very simple. It's just an extension, as I said before. You install it your IDE and start using it, but it requires a subscription. Of course, you need to subscribe in your GitHub account, and after that, you can use it when you logged in your GitHub account on your IDE. Okay, it really supports all of the IDEs, most popular ones, that Visual Studio, VSCode, and all of the IDEs by JetBrains, like Rider, PyCharm, and also it supports NeoVim. And I'd like to talk about some research made by GitHub, and I want to show two different research. On the left side, it's made by more than 2,000 people, and 60% are professional developers, and 30% are students, and the rest are hobbyists. And I'd like to show two of them. First one is 88% feels more productive when using GitHub Copilot, and also 87% feels use less mental effort on repetitive tasks. And on the right side, there's another research. They recruit 95 professional developers, and they make randomly two groups. First group is 45 developer, and the other one is 50. And first group used Copilot, and the other one did not use Copilot. And they wanted to make a web server in JavaScript. It's not a hard task. And if you look at the times, the first group to use Copilot complete task in 1 hour and 11 minutes, and the other group did not use the Copilot, complete in 2 hours and 41 minutes, which is nearly or more than the first one.
Mm-hmm. It's almost twice the time.
Yeah, it's twice the time.
Mm-hmm.
And also I'd like to share the resources. You can scan with your phone camera and access Copilot documentation. It's a very nice and detailed documentation, by the way. I suggest to read to learn about how it works, what can you do about it. And I'd like to make a demo to
Sure.
show what I've said.
Let's jump into the demo.
Okay. I opened a new Visual Studio Code instance and I didn't open a folder. It is not connected to any code space or another remote container. Let's create a empty file and I'll change its type to C# because I want to write in C#. Okay. And before we start, I want to show my installed extensions. Okay, I installed GitHub Copilot and logged in with my GitHub account. It is enabled on my GitHub account because it requires a subscription, as you can see here. So let's start with the file we created. So I'll write a comment and say what I want to write. Let's say define a banking account. I hit enter. And Copilot recommends me a bank account class. I look at it and I think it will be useful. I press tab and now I have a bank account class without writing any code. I only write a comment and I am looking at the methods and I don't like the withdraw method because it is not checking for the balance. And I want to say and check if balance is sufficient, but Copilot complete the command for me and I don't need to write full command. Okay, I hit tab and enter and it recommends me a new method checking balance and I am looking the code. It looks good and I hit tab and remove the old one. And I have a banking account class without writing any code. Okay, that's very cool, but I need to write a unit test, which I don't like. I think you don't like write unit tests, right? I will ask Copilot if it can write unit tests for me. So define a test class with xUnit. I want to write a test class with xUnit because I am familiar with that framework. So let's see if Copilot can do it. Okay, it offers me a method, but I don't like it because it is not enough for me. So I can switch other options here like this. It looks better, so I select this one and press tab and I have a test class without writing any lines of code. It's very cool, right? Okay, so let's delete all of them because you may think that it's Copilot only work with commands, but it's not. Let's try to write a method. Static int. Okay, it understands I am going to write Fibonacci and asking me if the method is okay for you. But I will go to the Copilot menu and get the other recommendations. If you want to see all the recommendations together, you can open Copilot and now it's creating examples and you can select the method you want here. Okay, let's create a method. And now I want to see another extension, GitHub Copilot Labs. It has two features. First one is explain and another one is language translation. First, I want to try explain. Let's imagine we have an example code. I found it on some websites on internet, but it is not my expertise. I don't know C# and I want to understand what it's doing, or maybe it's very complicated code and I don't understand. So and I'll ask Copilot and it explains what it does. Yes, very cool feature. But the language translation is the best feature I have ever seen. So as you can understand, it translates languages. I wrote them in C#. Sorry, Copilot wrote them in C#, but I want to translate it to another language like PowerShell. Let's ask Copilot. And I have a PowerShell function of Fibonacci.
Okay, thank you, Mert. Thank you so much for the demo. Like, I learned a lot today. I really appreciate it. So thank you, Mert, again.
You are welcome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.